come. Okay.
Suppose I'm working in any company.
Yeah.
My boss expectation I have not done.
Yeah.
The boss ordering on me.
Yeah.
He should have.
Yeah.
Maybe morning or afternoon.
Yeah.
While going home also, after reach home also,
Yeah.
that whatever happened in the incident,
Yeah.
I'm carrying forward till the home.
To the homes. Yeah.
This same frustration living in my
Wife. True.
So how to stop this?
Okay. So first thing is, so you show. I was talking about. So your boss is. There was an expectation from your boss, right? Did he get angry with you, or he just told you something?
Wait, suppose his expectation, he gives some job.
Yeah.
I have not done as per his expectations.
Okay. So that is being transferred. Okay, got it. So what he's saying is that there's a boss expectation, right? And he didn't meet it. So that internally builds a frustration within yourself, and he slowly takes it to his family, and it carries on. Okay. Now, when a boss gives you any job or whatever work it is, if it's a frank conversation with your boss, you have to have a clear understanding if you can do it or not. Because what happens is most of the colleagues, they just take it yes, 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 yes. The boss, on the other hand, plans with all your yes. See, always remember one thing. When you say something to your boss as yes, he has other yeses he's giving to other people. Right? For example, he will say, okay, this is my plan. Okay, can you do this? You said yes. He puts a tick mark. And based on all those yeses, he's telling to the customer or his boss, right, that these are my yeses. But on the other hand, with that expectation, he has created something to his head boss, and after some time, suddenly once the time is over, you say no. Don't you think it becomes a no here and becomes a no here, and basically your no is answerable to everyone over here, right? So it is genuine for your boss to come back to you. Point number one. So whatever you take, make sure you take what you can do. Point number one. Even though if the boss is pushing you, have a clear understand, yes, I'm going to work extra, I'm going to do that for you. But what happens is that if your boss has an expectation, you got to meet it, right? That's why you are in the job, right? But what happens is that if you can't meet it, you have two things to do. Either tell your boss that, the biggest issue I've noticed, people always leave it to the last minute and then tell to your boss. In the initial stage itself, 1 or 2 days you're saying, oh, I don't think I can complete it. Make sure you share it to your boss as quick as you can, because so that he can actually guide you or help you. Most of the colleagues I've seen is they leave it at the last minute when that he thinks is off, and the boss also can't do anything, and then he will say, and then he'll feel bad about it. So whenever you think you can't meet your boss's expectation, make sure you say it as early as you can, share it as early as you can, so that he's aware of a failure or the tick mark not happening, so he can plan it accordingly. Never leave everything at the last minute, and that's when all the panic, all the stress begins to come in. And then when you're stressed off, you will make more errors which you're not supposed to make too, right? That's the other part of the job itself. So anything when you can't achieve it, make sure you share it and tell to your boss. So that side is covered. The second point is, it is you yourself thinking that I can't do it, right? Sometimes your boss thinks that you have the capacity, but then you think that, oh, I can't do it. I'm only worth that much. Someone else is doing better than me. There are other people who's doing much more better than me. How can I do it, right? So when you have any project, know your strength. Can I do it or not? Is it practical or not? And then you act to it. It stays within that conversation itself. Now, what happens is, whatever your boss has an expectation, you don't meet it. You have to understand after that first failure as to why I couldn't meet it. What maybe there's some less of training, or maybe you don't understand your time management, or maybe you're being overloaded. It's only when you understand your strength, you can actually share it with people. But what happens is, on the longer run, first expectation is broken. Oh, I can't meet my expectation. I can't meet my expectation. I can't meet my boss's expectation. Slowly that suppression brings up an anger or a stress. And then you go to your family with this. Because one expectation you felt bad, your ego got hit. Right? Then again you have the others, your ego got hit. So you got hit. You've taken into your heart, and then you go to your family. And when you go into your family, there it is not boss, right? They are weaker than you. So there, jo bhi bolna hai, bolo, khalas, over. Right? Because boss you can't shout. Boss you can't, because you lose your job. Right? So what has happened is, instead of you improving his expectation or your mind, you are not doing that. Instead of that, whatever frustration comes, you're using it to someone weaker than you. Because anger is a thing which can be controlled. Like I was talking to the Rishi, anger is a thing which can be controlled. People who are more powerful than you, you won't show it. People who are weaker than you will show it. Right? So whoever tells me that anger cannot be controlled, it is untrue. Right? Because you can't go and show your anger to the Prime Minister of India. Right? You can talk inside, you can talk in the heart, but you can't show it publicly. You're gone. Right? So same way, your boss, you can't show it. You lose your job. Right? You can control that. But wife, children, I'm more stronger. Whatever else. Right? But what has happened is, sir, you have actually suppressed that incapability of yours. You're suppressing it, and feeling bad about it. And this feeling bad has to go out. That you're taking in the form of anger. So what you have to do is to fix that feeling of, I'm not meeting my expectation, transfer it and see, how can I meet my expectation? What improvement I need to meet that expectation? Is it because I'm not properly using my time? Is it because I'm not trained well? Talk to your boss. See, if I need to meet your expectation, this is what I need. So that there's a very fair working relationship with you and your boss. Because what's going to happen is you're going to suppress it, then finally you feel that you're not worth for this job. The bosses will feel it. And that's when someone says, why do I lose my job, or someone throws me off the job? Because the organization has an energy, right? Our organization has a power. If you're not worth for it, you'll be dissolved and thrown away. Did that make sense? Okay, perfect, yeah. So that's what, if you ask me, I'm just going to clear that doubt 100% so that it's all clear.